Howdy.
Hey there. I'm trying to figure out how to engage AI companion. So I'm looking for any help.
You might have to bring up an AI companion and ask.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna sort of mute and disappear for a second.
Yep. What the hell is going on?
Well, I'm a little disappointed. I don't really see how to do it. Maybe I haven't got the level of subscription to be able to bring in my AI companion. So
Oh,
it's
that dog.
another $10 expense on top of every other $10 hit they want from you. You know how that is, Doug.
Yes.
All right. Got Dunsmore and Paul Fligg is cranking up his computer. So he's joining us in a second. So yeah, thank y'all for being here. This is recorded and I'm recording it so we can put it on my YouTube channel. We can refer back to it or make notes from it or whatever we need to do with it. So, Les, I sent you something on energy.
Yep, I got it.
Oh, that was interesting.
Mhm.
I talked yesterday with Palmetto Promise, which is the policy um, association here in Columbia advocating for education, um, school choice, uh, zero income, I believe, and alternative energy. And so had a discussion with her and gave her my notes from um, conversations we've had. So anyway, just a quick update that has nothing to do with this call, but that was just kill time so Paul could join us. Thank you, Paul. So let me just set this up. Most everybody here was on the call Monday at the board of directors call. Dennis was interested in trying to find a way to increase membership and increase the funding or the income streams to SCETA. And he had some ideas and then but basically Dunsmore says, why don't we do something with NFTs or something along those lines? And I said, that's a pretty good idea because Paul and I had been on a class called a Master Web3 Master Class in which NFTs were created to encourage participation in a business and rewards that were given if you collected the NFTs or whatever they did with it. But anyway, so that clicked my mind. I was like, yeah, that's a great idea, but let's talk about that on the side. And so that's why we're here, sort of to throw out some ideas about how we can get the membership in SCETA increased, how we can create revenue, but also mainly how we can provide a service or a benefit or whatever you want to call it. Why would somebody want to be part of SCETA? And that would be also part of the discussion, I would think, is to be able to have some value in being a member of SCETA. And so let me just, we're going to open it up in a second, but if you'll indulge me for a minute. Um, Paul and I discussed a little bit of AI the other day, and so I wanted to just go down that road just a second About a month ago, the chamber invited Google to come in to teach their members, anybody who wanted to participate, uh, about a half day session with Google AI Gemini. And so they basically started sort of the baby steps and then got into some fairly deep discussion about Gemini and what you can do with it. Then it went into notebooks, LLM, and that's even deeper. And so it was a great opportunity for me to learn a lot. And I'm really kind of drifting towards Gemini. It's got a lot of nice features. So that being said, just that was an AI experience that I thought was great. Those teaching modules are available on the Google Gemini website. So you can teach yourself at your own pace, or we can emulate them. But that being said, let me finish up one more. Had a conversation with Professor Darla Moore, School of Business here in Columbia. She said that Darla came in Tuesday, I believe it was, and said, you have got to focus on more AI education. She drilled that into the crowd when she was there. And so the one that I was talking about is interested in finding new ways to present and all kinds of things that they're willing to do to get the students advanced in AI training. So um, that being said, we're gonna sort of talk a little bit about. I might give it to Paul here for a second. Anybody want to chime in on? Is this a good idea? Are we talking? Um, you know, we climbing up a tree we can't get down from, or um,
Well, we got about three trees so far. I
okay,
don't think we can. I don't think that they're all a problem, but we're going to probably have to separate them.
increasing membership, providing value, and
Education,
education. Yeah. Okay. So so
and they have some overlap. They have some Venn
yeah,
overlap, but they're
yeah,
not completely overlap.
agreed. So I guess the next thing for me to do is sort of to let us get into a little discussion. I mean, do y'all have any ideas? Y'all want to talk of just throw some things out there, or Paul, you want to maybe jump in and Paul and I spent about an hour crafting some ideas that we thought we'd throw out. We can do that now, or if you want to jump on a couple of things you've been thinking of, um, it's open. So if I hear any more silence or any more crickets in the room,
Okay,
we'll let
then
Paul have
I won't give you crickets. I'll tell you what I think.
it. Okay.
So I know that's going to surprise you, since I'm always so bashful about telling you guys what I think. Um, I mean, I have four USCB interns this semester. And part of what we do when I meet with them is use AI, and also me show them things about AI that I consider to be good things about AI that they should be learning to push their education forward, as opposed to the whole AI is evil and it's going to write your papers and all that kind of stuff, because there's always things that we can do to ask AI a question to help during my discussions with them. So I think on the education and AI side, there's a lot of things that we could potentially do with SCETA, outside of SCETA, and all of our other endeavors to show people how AI can be used in a much more productive way that gets away from the whole Skynet thing, or the crazy things that we see online about questions that people ask AI that really are meaningless. So on the education side, I think there's a good angle there, and there's even a SCETA angle for pushing education that is education about AI and about digital assets and things like that. And you'll notice I'm not using the B word. So on the other side of that, we have to decide why people would want to be inside of SCETA, or want to join SCETA, want to help SCETA, want to be involved in things that SCETA is doing. In order to do that, they have to either have skin in the game, or we have to be doing something that directly impacts them. I don't
Exactly.
see any other way around that. You don't just do it as an idle hobby. So we're either pushing legislation that they have a big interest in or their business has an interest in, or we're teaching something that they want to be involved in, or we're involved in some other civic or political activity that has their attention. And I can't think of anything else that would cause somebody to want to join. It's why I am working with SCETA.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just set it up for Paul. So Paul and I talked a little bit about how we can get more people to be looking at SCETA, joining SCETA, but also give value to it. And so we started out with sort of creating like a business model, I guess. How can we make this a business inside of SCETA? And don't think of for-profit business, but think it for an outreach um, project or an outreach business. And so, Paul, I'm gonna let you articulate. You've got all the notes and everything, and so I'll give it to you, and then if we'll just see what happens next, and hopefully good things.
I'll just share my screen. So I went through a prompting exercise with ChatGPT.
Let me make sure. Yeah, there you go. You're on. Uh, it's
so starts out by asking the questions, who is it that we're serving? What problem do they have? And how do we plan to incorporate, AI into this? So starting out with an end goal, starting out with a specific problem, and then having AI kind of guide us down the path around, user types, business model strategy, and how we can incorporate AI and other technologies into it. So less is three trees: increase membership, provide value, education. Perhaps this could all get addressed through an app that gets created. Um, in this exercise with George, as you can see, the end goal is an app helping local business owners and community leaders not only learn practical AI, but how to apply it within their respective businesses to increase revenue, improve efficiency, with the end result of, saving, 5+ hours per week. Um, and we continue to iterate with it, and to provide it with some options on how to incorporate NFTs. And once you get NFTs incorporated in it, well, then that results in a crypto wallet getting created. So talking to the specific problem, we're hearing it day in, day out, right? Education, right? People don't understand it. There's a lack of awareness. And probably equally as important, there's how is it that we practically begin to implement this into our day-to-day, lives? Um, so user types, local business owners and community leaders, frustrations, unsure how to apply AI or blockchain practices into businesses. Um, George and I were trying to unpack, well, what are some challenges that business owners face? And George was using his son, I think, as an example around his specific business, being pulled into, too many tasks, a lot of low value added tasks, and really inconsistent customer experience. Also, limited resources around, a new tech. Um, so goals of saving hours, delivering a consistent customer experience, helping increase revenue, um, and then a rewards program, which is similar to what George and I witnessed firsthand in the Algorand, in the Algorand training, right? That was all done. That was a rewards program for a coffee shop that used NFTs to do that. Now,
Paul,
here's
can I interrupt you one quick second?
yep.
The page that I'm seeing is the very first page. Is there more? Are people seeing more than one page or is it just me?
I have what I'm seeing on my page and what I'm trying to show is basically through user types in the business model.
Yeah. That's what I
Okay.
see.
All right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to scroll up a little bit more so get rid of end goal and specific problems. There you go. Thank you. All right,
Okay.
cool. Keep going, man. That's great. You're
So
doing great, Paul. Just want to make sure we were all on the same page.
yeah, user types. So who's going to be using this? Local business owners and community leaders. So we were looking at this as not only a for-profit, but also not-for-profit. Now, here's where I think it gets interesting, right? So if you look at the different subscription tiers, so perhaps one of the value adds for SCETA is an app like this, and through the app you get a free tier, right? Now, if you want to, scale revenue, additional add-on subscription tiers for additional guided lessons, interaction templates, NFT rewards. And I think we were talking about the NFT achievement badge, meaning that you can create an NFT for all the different counties within the state. Is that what I heard on Monday?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Or,
was, yeah. Or you collect it for different, each session has an NFT. You collect the NFTs and that kind of thing. Some with a reward. Uh, but you have to have a wallet. And that was one of the issues that Dunsmore brought up about Dennis wanted everybody to create a wallet, but you got to be incentivized. Anyway, and Doug knows that as well. That's why I asked Doug to join us, what his challenges are with people creating wallets. But anyway,
right,
First thing I ever learned about blockchain was that you have to incentivize the group of people who are the least likely to participate the most in
hmm
order to have anything happen. And that's the first rule I ever learned more than 10 years ago is you must incentivize the people who are least likely to participate more than anyone else or you're toast.
yeah. Well, I'm reading a book, Tiny Habits, and if you want to get people to adopt, you got to make it simple. You got to make it simple, and you got to make it easy. So,
keep those in mind.
just ideas around, free tier included with the SCETA membership, and then once you have it, if you like what you see and you want to you want to purchase, you want to move up to a basic tier to a pro tier, um there's the possibility to do so. Core functionality, um guided lessons on AI and blockchain, action plans, providing them with ways to save, hours weekly, customer interaction templates, and then really these last two items, creating a crypto wallet to store platform tokens and NFTs. So if there's going to be an NFT component to it, that's going to result in, wallets hopefully being created. Um, Here's some of the primary, use cases or primary user, stories. Guided learning, action plans, NFT rewards, whether they want to use it for themselves personally, take advantage of another program, incorporate into whatever it is that they're doing. Wallet management component, and then here's some of the value added features, through advanced, functionality, AI powered customer feedback analysis, playbooks, business tools, um, and then tokenized rewards and referral programs. This was just a 1 hour ideation with myself, George, and Chat GPT, but I
And
don't know. I mean, this kind of addressed all three trees that Les was talking about.
Yeah, and I'll add one thing to your item list here, Paul, and that is if you want the app, can the app automatically connect to a wallet? And is there an easy online, phone app wallet that you can connect to because that makes it easy? They don't have a lot of other things in their wallet. Will those NFTs go into a wallet that they can just have as an app on their phone?
got
So
it.
then it's probably if let's just say we wanted to use Algorand because that was a training that George and I connected. So then the way to back into that is to look at their wallet, pair wallet, and then build on whatever connectors they have to that wallet.
Yeah, using whatever API connection they have
Yeah.
so that it goes out to them. And that way you don't have to teach people a whole lot of other things about wallets. Because the second thing I learned about blockchain is that it's not going to be used and adapted until people don't realize they're using it.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I think did I think I know I shared it in the Telegram, but David Schwartz, the CTO for Ripple, is stepping down. And I remember one of the interviews that he had was, we're not trying to convert the 90% of people that aren't using crypto into crypto users. We're just going to incorporate crypto services into the stuff that they're using every day. You
Absolutely.
you
Mhm.
won't they won't know it. It'll be, it'll be, the plumbing is changed and you have no idea where the
Exactly.
water's coming from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the answer.
So, all right. So you want to give us a little, I mean, Les has certainly provided some great feedback. Um, do you want to go down this path a little bit further? Um, to,
Well, I want to hit the education part one
yeah,
more
I do too.
spot, and
So,
that is that the way you get attention from students is you tell them they're going to meet people who can give them a job, or they're going to learn something that is going to enhance their ability to get a job because they've already sent out 2,000 resumes and applied to 2,000 jobs on LinkedIn, and they've been ghosted 1,199 times.
yeah, that's
Yeah, the first thing every student who comes to see me asks me is, "Can you help me find a job, or do you know of a job I can apply for that's a real job?"
excellent.
Um, so I'm a little bit apprehensive about creating an app, guys. I know there's a lot of incredible talent out there to do this, but it still costs a bunch of money. And as far as I know, unless we've had a major donation in the last 3 days, 2 days, SCETA's only got about 30 grand left. So we can't be the South Carolina Emerging Technology Association with a piece of shit app. Um, and I think that if we have anything subpar, and I have not found a application that is from a South Carolina based company, whether credit union or other little apps that don't look like they're, Cracker Jacks. We can't, I don't think we can do that. I'm all for raising membership. That's the ultimate goal. And educating people is how we do that,
That's
getting
right.
them jobs, and then, to Les's point, making sure that their political views or their technological views or whatever are heard. But the ultimate goal is to, raise membership for SCETA so that we can continue those other three. Um, and I think that at this point, it is much more cost effective and efficient to utilize the free options that we have and just utilize them in a better manner, particularly a YouTube channel. Make sure that people are on Telegram. The amount of people that I have talked to personally in South Carolina that either are on Telegram or on Twitter is very, very small.
Mm.
And so having them download yet another app for an entity that they may or may not be a part of, an entity that they may or may not have to pay for, I think is such a huge hurdle right now that I think it would be better if we just walked around Walmart and started talking to people about South Carolina Emerging Technology Association.
Woo!
Uh,
Hey, clear that aisle out, buddy.
well, that's where we're at. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is if we want to do a symposium and do your talks every Friday and upload it to YouTube, or have everybody from around the state start talking about what they're building, start talking about building an ecosystem. I'm 100% for that. I think that we got to bring jobs back to South Carolina. I think we do have to find, Les's interns jobs and stuff like that. But at this point, I think if we try to build an application and we don't have a couple hundred grand lying around and some really good developers, and unless you may have some developers on the sidelines who are looking for it, but they're probably also looking to get paid. And
Hmm.
so that's the problem that we're sitting at right now, guys. We have a chicken and egg situation where we don't have enough money to do an app or put on a big production. And we also
Okay.
don't have enough traction to get membership up.
Okay. I'm going to offer a suggestion. You guys
Okay.
can tell me I'm crazy. People tell me I'm crazy all the time. I'm not emotionally damaged by it. Uh, so I'm going to suggest that there's an intersection between these things because as soon as you guys started talking about doing an app, I already knew what I was going to do. And that is that I'm going to send a message off to the digital media people at USCB who are looking to place a whole bunch of other interns who do this every day. And I'm going to ask them to be an intern who develops the baseline part of this app as one of their credit courses that they have to graduate. And
All
then
right.
we, as SCETA, can look at the output of that and determine if there's any of those that we actually want to use or not. In the process, we will have gotten a bunch of those students interested in things that we're doing, and it will gravitate out into the greater student population more. And we don't have to use any of those apps at the end necessarily if all of them are not up to snuff. But I have watched them do some amazing things with digital media production and
Yeah.
the creation of things in the last couple of semesters that have really surprised me. And some of them are working for a game company down here. So that's where I see most of the things that you're doing. So I would suggest that we not necessarily table the app idea, but that we channel the app idea into that kind of visibility because ultimately we would like to have an app to go do some things that we want to do. But we're going to stimulate interest in the other items in our tree to come to fruition by using the app creation process to say this will help you to learn a skill. It will help us to get you connected with some other people, and we want to evaluate how good you are at this. It's three of the things that I tell my interns. And at the same time, then we will expand out what we're doing with the rest of the education process.
Okay.
Yep.
And I accept all the things you said, Jonathan. You're right about every single one of them, which is why I wouldn't go off and pay somebody $100,000 to
200K.
develop an app because that's pushing a rope
Yeah. Yeah.
at this point. And you can only push that rope so far, and it can be expensive.
All right. So
So
that's,
I would just flip it over the other way
I think
because
that's a
I'm in
great
total agreement
idea.
with you.
Sorry. Sorry,
It's
Les.
okay. No, it's okay. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I think the digital media interaction that you have, excellent idea because we could use that in a number of ways. But Paul, well, let me do this. There are a couple of templates out there that we could look at to. So in my mind, here's how I see it. You go to the SCETA website because there's a session on how to make your internal processes in your business more efficient using AI. And there's a teacher in there, and it's three modules, A, B, and C, and you get it because you signed, not because you joined SCETA, but
Let
because,
me let me let me pause you for 1 second
sure, go ahead.
because I think you're putting the cart before the horse.
Okay, go
You're
ahead.
building content without an audience. You're kind of building a problem that needs a solution or whatever it is, vice versa, the wording.
Yeah.
I'm more focused on what Jonathan's talking about. Let's build the audience either organically, do some kind of value for value model that helps build all that because
Hmm.
you're trying to build this amazing content that we have stuff. Hopefully it'll engage people to say, "Hey, let's come out and buy your class or share in the education." But we need a better carrot to get people involved. And I think doing what Jonathan was talking about with YouTube first focusing on that to try and build a subscription base of, say, 5,000 people that actually like the content. So you cover all this stuff. Maybe, we can have speakers do an AI class for 25 minutes on a specific topic and build those, and then use that content to build the education models that you're looking for.
And that's a
Because
good idea.
and then push stuff as value for value, that, because and most people on value for value, 99% of them don't put their money where their mouth is. They just consume. But the 1 to 2% that do end up funding that kind of stuff. And I don't know. That seems to be where I think our emphasis should be. Let's build content that's engaging, that has stuff that people want to view, that's timely, has, a bent on what's in the current news, what's in the current zeitgeist in tech, and so on. And then organically try to build that as well as we can, because it doesn't have to be South Carolina based. I mean, yes, we can focus on South Carolina,
We're done.
but for the audience is going to be much broader to bring them in to, say, Crouch's crypto, call on Friday. But do this with a video thing and then just start hammering it out there and focus on broadcasting it organically, or at least cost possible, until we start building that kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe you can start getting a YouTube subscription and get paid for doing it eventually,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, get monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, George. You were heading down a tangent or a path that I
No, it's
think we
fine.
needed to step back and talk a little bit more about who the audience is going to be first.
Because I was thinking maybe the modules would drive people to the site. You're saying drive them with other content to be eventually tied to the site, to the SCETA site to learn AI. So
Yeah.
interviews without really teaching anything, interviews would be good. I'm not an interviewer, but I mean, hell, I can learn.
I don't
I
know.
think you do it better than you think.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. All right.
I don't
Well,
know. The way
Then
I'm
we end
thinking
up with
about
George's podcast, which is great.
oh,
Yeah. And do the Telegram engagement, which is what I had asked for last week, that we need to have some instant messaging so we can continue the talk afterwards.
Yeah.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. On the Telegram channel.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That was sort of mentioned at the BOD on Monday, but nothing yet. But that's okay. Dennis is a busy guy. Or maybe he referred me to get that to you to, you're the managing, Doug, the Telegram channel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you want a
All right.
logo? You want me to send you a logo?
I mean, we can do whatever we want, as long as we decide that's where we want to head with this.
Well, that's
Um,
what we decided on Monday at the BOD meeting, was that George gets his own sub channel into the Telegram.
okay.
Hmm.
And it's where I post the announcement that the Zoom calls on Friday, and then it's where people discuss if they want to whatever we
Yeah.
talk about. And I think that's thank you,
And
Les.
then
Appreciate it.
we we could have a couple moderators to, protect from the spam inserts that'll invariably show up. Um, and
Hmm.
Really.
oh
Okay.
yeah, and Telegram, you bet.
I think
Yeah.
I have seen that. Um, well, okay, so we've about reached the end of 40 minutes. I did extend it because I get 4 extensions a month. This is the first day of the month. So, and we're not having we are having a call this Friday. We're not having one the next Friday, but that's irrelevant. I mean, that's just FYI.
Okay.
Anyway, to go back down the hole in terms of driving some interest, I like the YouTube idea. We could we could probably get some really big players in what would be some, I mean, we've been working on stable coins now. Do we need to go down AI as well?
George, you could go down AI way far just by doing reaction videos to things that other people have produced.
That's true.
Let me ask a question here. If we had to identify like an ICP, ideal customer profile, like where are we at in terms of the adoption curve related to these technologies? I'm of the impression that we're past kind of that early innovators were maybe kind of early adopters phase. So the path that I'm going down is, well, how do we identify who those early adopters might be, and then what content would they be interested in? I mean, the question, I don't know the answer to that, but how do we get to the answer to that question?
Well, I think you've been heading down that path, Paul, with the AI content that we've that you and I have been chatting about. Trisha is wanting to build a course. So what George is going towards with having a dedicated course, we can build that content as we go. We don't have to invest a ton of time right now to have content. We build that with the YouTube stuff and then start building out that content behind the scenes
Hmm.
and and make it like a logical, push to that, to where we provide value through his YouTube stuff, and then, oh, by the way, we have this extra content that will focus, hyper focus on whatever topic you're wanting to learn. Oh, and it's $50 a month that we start building this stuff, or we put it on an education platform and people can subscribe through it that way, and maybe we get a trickle income with that.
Yeah.
Um, and what are
Wow.
those? There's a couple platforms. I think you even sent me a link to one of them, maybe a month or two ago. But there's several of those education-based platforms where we can put this content on there, so we don't have to actually manage it. It gets out there. We put it in a context that we want, and then people subscribe if they find value out of it, and then we just push that.
Excellent. All right, let's do this. Dunsmore had to run. Why don't we sort of let me get this thing on a YouTube channel and send it to you, and we can kind of review it or revisit it, and then maybe talk about getting back together again with some more ideas. Doug, really great contribution. Paul, Les, and fantastic. So is that if that's okay with everybody, why don't we go back to losing money, I mean, making money, and we'll see how the
Okay.
rest of the day goes. Okay.
Oh, hey, hold on, George. I
Yeah.
I forgot to. Did anyone remind you to turn on the AI companion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. So if we decide to do another one of these, I
Yeah.
have the Zoom Pro, which gives us unlimited time for up to 100 people.
Well, let me
So,
do
so I can do it, and
another.
I know that I have the AI companion
I
and things
know.
connected to it, so I can do the link the next time if we need to, and it'll just fly.
Okay. I'm just what I do is I record this thing and pop it right in my YouTube channel.
I know we'll figure that out, or I'll
Okay.
give you the link to the recording in
Yes.
my cloud, and then you
Right.
can take it and do whatever you want to with it
10
and
4.
things. But that'll just give us more time. We won't have a set end or anything, and we can turn the rest of the things on. And they're already
Right.
charging me enough money.
I'm thank you. All right, guys. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
All right, thanks, y'all.